My name is Mariah and welcome to my channel, Totally Spines. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my 2022 recap of the books that are my top and books that are on the low tier of my list. Alright, so how this is going to be set up is that I picked 5 books that are my top read and 5 books that I didn't really like. So we're going to start with the low tier books that I didn't like. First book is Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. This is the same author that wrote We Were Liars. I haven't read that book. I just know that it's basically a mixed bag. A lot of people, at least that I know of, a lot of people say that they liked the beginning of the book, but then towards the end it was not good. I DNF'd this book. How this book is set up is that it is told in reverse. So basically, this person, Omijin, is living at a resort, and she's not really Omijin, she's Jewel, and Jewel disappeared, I believe. No. I forgot. I honestly forgot. I know one of them is dead and the other one took basically her life or something. Look, all I know is if you read the last few pages in the book, it basically tells you what happened. Okay, so you don't even need to read this book. No offense to the author or anything. I just particularly did not like this book and I DNF'd it. And if I really wanted to know what happened, all I had to do was read the last 5 pages of the book and it told me. So, yeah. Genuine Fraud, I did not like. And I really thought I was gonna like this book, but nope. The next book is Layoverland by Gabby No One. Now, the premise of this, very, very interesting. Beatrice, she dies in a car accident and she's in limbo. And the limbo here is, or purgatory, whatever, is Layoverland, basically, but it's an airport. And basically she has to help a bunch of souls move on before she moves on, and one of the souls that she has to help move on is the person who killed her. So like I said, it was a very interesting, like, imagine being in the afterlife and the afterlife is an airport. That sounds very interesting. I think why I didn't like it is because it put me in a book slump. I was mentally drained because there's a part in the book where when she was alive, she had a fight with her sister, and her sister are very, very close. And I think basically it's one of those things that are unresolved, you know, like unfinished business. And yeah, when it's her time to move on, I guess her, you know, how she left things with her sister would be brought up, but I feel like there's other things that are unresolved. Oh, she has a lot of unfinished business to me, but like I said, like, it just put me in a book slump. I did not appreciate this. So I gave it a solid 3 stars. Next one is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Interesting enough, I tabbed the book, but ultimately I didn't put it on the part on my shelf where I actually enjoyed this book. To be honest, if my love interest set the house on fire that I'm in and it visually, like, physically scarred me, I'm not gonna fall in love with you. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, that tab, I'm pretty sure there's that one line. What does it say? I don't think I tabbed it, but she was basically saying that she loved him for years, and in 4 pages she fell out of love with him, I think. Yeah, I really don't remember certain things that I've read about this book, but nonetheless though, the fact that Colleen Hoover books are more based on trauma, I've only read 2 books by her, and I can't read other ones where they're only in love because of their trauma. I can't, at least that's what I figured with Colleen Hoover books. So there's that. The next book is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Only tabbed it twice at the very, very beginning. I think it's when they are on the plane. But when they are on the honeymoon and stuff like that, it was pretty good. It's closed door, fade to black type of situation. But once their trip was almost over, they were on the plane, all that other stuff, I really started to hate the guy. He was gaslighting her and all that. Like, what's his name? Ethan? Yeah, Ethan. Didn't like him. If I was going to give him a chance, he had to do a heck of a lot more groveling. You know, I hate having the family be a part of something like that. Like, it just, no. Like, he's a gaslighter to me. I would not forgive him. And he liked her for years and stuff like that, and he just acted like a jerk. It does not make sense to me. Which makes me concerned about the other book I got from Christina Lauren, which is Love in Other Words. I hear there's like a twist at the end of it that just turned a lot of people off about it. But it's on my TBR for next year. So, but nonetheless, though, this I did not appreciate. And the last book that I did not like this year is Watch the Girls by Jennifer Wolfe. It definitely was pretty interesting to read this because she was basically going back to her old hometown to investigate disappearances of these other women, and also what happened to her younger sister. But ultimately, there were too many things that were open-ended at the end for me, and I did not appreciate that. And one of them I cannot stand is that her attacker got away with it. I'm just going to put it out there. Her attacker got away with it. I'm just going to put that there. This book I bought from the Dollar Tree, so it's not a complete loss, but let me just say this as a trigger warning. The main character was sexually assaulted when she was a teenager, and it's a big spoiler about the person who assaulted her, but ultimately, he got away with it. He got away with it. And it doesn't make sense to everything else that went on in this book. Okay, 5 books that I did enjoy this year. First is Eat Your Heart Out by Kelly DeVos. Initially, I gave it a 5 stars, but I'm going to give it a 4.75. Basically, the main character, V, like Vivian, I think. Yeah, V. She goes to a weight loss camp, and like it went to a 0 to a 100 real quick. The moment she gets there, a zombie outbreak ensues. A zombie outbreak ensues, and they're caught up, and then basically the zombie apocalypse here. And it's just what I really appreciate about this book, I even tapped this a little bit, was this part. Basically it's set up to, like, if you were watching a horror movie, like, which character would you be? Would you be the final girl, the basket case, the nerd, the jerk, the jock, things like that. And I do like the little romance aspect that was in there, just a little tidbit in there. I did tear up a little bit with certain aspects of it, but I definitely think it's interesting that you go to camp and a zombie apocalypse breaks out at the camp. So that was definitely pretty interesting for sure. Next one is called Girls Save the World, and this one by Ash Parsons. And coincidentally enough, this one's a zombie apocalypse too, which is also hilarious considering where the zombie apocalypse happens. It's at a zombie con convention, basically. They, 3 best friends, they go to zombie con, and the zombie apocalypse ensues here. Everything, this book is 400 pages deep, and everything that happens in this book happens in the span of a day. And I just really, really liked how it was set up, where the moment they get to the convention center, how they're waiting in line, how when they first go in and see all the displays, all the panels, all the meet and greets, taking pictures with people. I really like the setup with that. I will say though, there is a little romance in here, and I kind of wish that there was a little more time with them. I think you don't get to the romance until like 200 plus pages in. I feel like their relationship, I wish there was more development with their relationship in there. Like I wish that they met up probably maybe 150 or so. Yeah, I think around 150 I wish that they met, but after 200 plus pages and then they finally meet up, that was a bit rough. But I really, really like this book as far as the dynamic. I really love that June, the main character, how she has this love for her best friend Amani. I love that as well. I feel like out of all her friends though, she loves Amani more than all her other friends. Okay. Next book that I love this year is These Deadly Games by Deanna Irvin. Basically, the main character, her sister is kidnapped, and she has 24 hours to basically do what the kidnapper says. And it's a very weird request. Like, she has to put a test in a locker, she has to bake brownies, she has to make a prank phone call. But little did she know is that it's it's designed to hurt or even kill her friends. So yeah, I just I really liked it. So it essentially, it's like a 5-star read for me, maybe 4.85. But I really liked it. Like, I read another book by her, All Your Twisted Secrets, and I like this one a lot better than this. So like, this is a span of a day per se, in addition, you know, not counting like the day after and recovery and stuff like that. All Your Twisted Secrets technically is in a span of an hour, but there are flashbacks. There's flashbacks in this book too, but ultimately I really, really enjoyed it. I got through this book pretty quickly, and I love the mystery aspect of it, of why the kidnapper is telling her to do all these things. And ultimately, I understand why the kidnapper was doing this stuff. I just think that the kidnapper went kind of extreme, considering why. But yeah. The next book I've recently read like a few weeks ago, and that is The Infinity Courts by Akima Dawn Bauman. I just got the second book a couple days ago. I didn't realize it was a trilogy, so I'm gonna have to probably wait this upcoming year for the third one to come out. I just started the second one, so, and I did a boo-boo and I looked at the last page of the book. Anyway, yeah, so I did like this. So the main character, Nami, she is basically murdered and she ends up in the afterlife, but she finds out that the afterlife is taken over by AI known as Ophelia. Ophelia is basically like Siri in the real world. So yeah, Ophelia is in the real world, but her essence is basically in the afterlife, and she took over the afterlife. So where all the AIs and programs called the residents are taking over the afterlife, and then they're basically killing off the souls of humans. And Nami joins a rebel group called the Colony. Yeah, the rebel group is called the Colony. And yeah, she is just trying to work with them to stop Ophelia. And she's, you know, she really looks to Ophelia as a friend back in the real world. So she doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to kill off the AIs. She wants everybody to be at peace, basically. And, you know, working through that, it's very interesting. At least to me it is. And the last book that is my 5-star read The last book, that's a number top book for me, is a reread. I originally read it in 2021, and I liked it so much that I bought a physical copy because I initially read it on Kindle Unlimited, and I bought a physical copy so I can annotate it. As you can see, I annotated a lot of it. If you can notice, there's some red tabs. Red tabs are spicy scenes. Yeah. And it's called Dying to Love by Reese Rivers. Now, essentially, if I was going to critique this book, I wouldn't have given it 5 stars, but I gave it 5 stars because I consider it a comfort read, and I reread it this year, so I can annotate it. And I really love the relationship that Kelsey has with the guys in this book. It's another zombie apocalypse, like this. Am I into dystopian stuff? It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, this is a zombie apocalypse reverse harem, and I think that is so interesting. That's my first like reverse harem that I read involving zombie apocalypse. There's no anyway. Yeah, this definitely was a 5-star for me because it was very comforting, and I really love Kelsey, and I love the guys. Out of the 4 guys, my top guy was Grayson. Then there's Devin, then Oliver, and then Link. Yeah. I will admit the back really got me. Let me read it. 662 days since the dead rose up. 413 days since I've spoken to another living human. 4 men who have climbed my fence looking for safety. 1 last chance for love. Like, yeah. I don't want to spoil anything about it if you do decide to pick it up, but it's like a sweet read. Okay, it's not necessarily dark. I will say there is like a content warning of suicidal thoughts. It is open door, so it's a lot of details surrounding that. So yeah. I will say, if I can remember the tabs, green tabs mean like quotes or information that I found useful. Blue tabs are when I found things to be funny. Red is spicy scenes. I think purple is romantic scenes, I think, or I thought was cute or something.
Yeah, like I think they're sweet scenes, yeah. Blue I think are funny scenes. Oh, so this is so corny. Oh my god. Yeah, like some of these blue tabs I think they're funny but very corny too.
Oh, is this when he dies? Ooh, yeah, this is when that guy dies. Anyway, yeah, this is it. So yeah, those are my top reads and top flops for the year of 2022. So yeah, that's it. I feel like I never know how to end these videos, but yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.